Top.
Sure.
We're live.
Yeah.
The first ever episode of the 10
Sure.
Cent Menu Club podcast.
Here we are.
I want to welcome the thousands and thousands of people that have tuned in to our very first episode that we did not promote.
There's a reason for that.
But we're here. We've landed. So I'm Andrew, co-founder of 10 Cent Menu Club.
Yeah. I'm Jenny. I am the other founder of 10 Cent Menu Club.
And we're here.
Yeah. Yep. It's exciting.
It's exciting stuff. So what is this podcast about? What are we what's our purpose in life? What's our mission?
I think today we are going to discuss the benefits of a well-managed menu.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is a well-managed menu? What does that mean?
Put me on the spot, why don't you?
If I ask you questions, then I don't have to answer questions. So that's
well, I think our focus today is going to be the printed menu. So the menu that is physically there for customers to hold in your restaurant. So not that the menu on your website is not important, but I think after the last few years, people are ready to get back and to be present and not be staring at their phones anymore.
Yeah, I think
when they're at a restaurant.
I think now more than ever, with the pricing of everything changing and it's just wild out there. Now more than ever, the menu is a living, breathing document. It doesn't sit still. It's not like flyers or brochures that you print out and you just hand them out. Like, it needs to constantly evolve based on market trends and market changes. Sometimes you might even need to just kind of reinvent your entire concept, your entire model. So the logistics, of the menu, managing the menu is important, because you're not going to be able to, keep up with these trends, and pivot your business model, effectively if you don't have a good menu management strategy.
Right. And there's, and we were just talking earlier about, every restaurant has their own process of updating menus. And a lot of people that we've dealt with in the past, before they started using us, they would do it in-house. It's just easier. They can make changes on a fly. They can print them out, from a Word document, and then hand them out to their customers basically in one afternoon. But there's some issues that come along with that. One of those would be just really, the consumer trust when you're handed a 8.5 by 11 printer sheet, a piece of paper from a home printer, versus like actually having like a well-designed menu, that's on nicer stock, that's durable, that people can kind of have fun with, navigating through.
What's crazy to me is that people walk in, to your restaurant, and you have this like beautifully designed and built out restaurant concept that you've spent an enormous amount of money on. People walk in and, the first thing they see is what you put in front of them is this menu. So like, for that to be an afterthought, I think a lot of people don't realize this is the first thing people see. They're sitting down. If it's busy, they're waiting for the waitress or the waiter to come over, and all they have is really this menu that the hostess has given them, and they're sizing the place up. They're looking around at the decorations. They're looking to see what kind of crowd is there, what the service is like, some of the other entrees going around, and then they have this menu in front of them. So they spend a lot of time, especially in the first 10, 15 minutes of being there, like interacting really specifically with that menu. And it's kind of like the first day of school a little bit. Like, you don't know what you're getting into. You're kind of like feeling it out. You don't know if this is going to be your favorite spot or if you're never going to be here again. So the customer logs a lot of time in with that menu as part of the first impression. And it's an opportunity, I think, to really like, take the extension of this concept you've created and, extend it to the menu. And have them interact with that menu and have fun and enjoy and make it interactive and dynamic.
Yeah. And from the customer's perspective also, I mean, nowadays going out to eat is, you know, one of the only times where you are really present. You're there with the people that are sitting at the table with you. And, you know, another thing that we're kind of on the other side of is getting, you know, kind of moving away from the QR code, where that whole experience of sharing a menu with someone even, or, you know, like kind of going back and forth and deciding, oh, what kind of appetizer are we going to get? And, you know, the fun of kind of going through and navigating through this physical menu wasn't happening, you know, for all that time. Like, you can't really share a tiny little, you know, cell phone screen with someone else. Like, it's just not, you know, it's not the same experience. So, you know, having all of those factors come back into play with this was just a nice menu, you know. It's
And like, I think also with the QR codes, you know, you don't want them on a device that you don't have control over. Like, if they're on there and they go to your website, and then maybe they'll jump on Facebook or Instagram, and now like you're giving attention away. Like, you should have undivided attention. When you give them that printed menu, you have this captive audience and you have this undivided attention. And you don't want to give that up, especially in a world where people's attention spans are 1 or 2 seconds as they're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram. So really, like, get the most out of them that you can while they're in the building, keep them off the phones. I mean, the QR code is cool. I get it, you know, and there's also some digital things that's interesting where you could, like, you know, retarget them on social media if you get them to go to your site, and you can do different things like that. But to me, the you know, the most important thing is getting them, you know, undivided attention, captive audience right into your restaurant, interacting with your brand. You know, that's key.
Yeah, and that's another thing about having a well-designed menu is it's just reinforcing your brand, and, you know, and really developing and taking what you have spent the time and money into, you know, building out the interior design and the interior decorating of your restaurant, or of your bar, or whatever it is, and putting it into the menu now, so that, you know, now they're looking at, you know, it's another living piece of your brand. And it's for a restaurant, it's basically like what you're using to sell these people. They're, you know, this is here's our items, here's our prices. You know, and now they're going to choose where they're going to spend their money with you. So, you know, I think having a menu that kind of reinforces your brand and builds that consumer trust, will also allow them to be able to feel okay with maybe spending a little bit more on certain items than they would if they were just given, you know, a piece of printer paper.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, we'll probably do a whole separate episode on design and the menu science and whatnot. But I think just having the information organized in a way that's easily consumable by customers is important, because I've done it where I've been at a restaurant and I'm just like, I just asked the waitress or the waiter, I'm like, I don't know, what do you think? I don't know. This is all, you have 17 hamburgers, and, you know, this is all over the, like, I don't know what to get. What do you think? You know, and so making it digestible, you know, so that I can, like, play the game and be like, all right, well, what do I want? You know, I have the sandwiches, I have the handhelds, you know, column, then I have the salads, and then there's small plates. Like, it helps me make a decision that I'm excited about, you know, because I'm spending a lot of money here. I don't want to, like, just, I don't know, just give me the chicken parm. You know, let me just go back to something that I trust. You know, you want people to try your stuff. So having it organized, you know, it makes for a better experience. And I think also, like, waiters and waitresses can then be a little bit more consultative, because they understand the menu and they're consulting people to the right decision. Because if it's you know, like, what's the word? Not organized to me, like, and I can't figure it out, then definitely the waiter or waitress can't figure it out either. Like, so now they're in it with you, and they're like, I don't know, people ask me all day, I don't know what the hell is even on this thing. You know? So, like, make it cool for them, make it a cool experience, and then the waitress is like, oh, you know what, yeah, get the soup and the sandwich, you know, that's cool. A lot of people do that, and it becomes more interactive, and I think, you know, it's more clear too. So there's less less human error, when you get back to the kitchen, and it's like, well, I didn't want cheese with that. Well, it comes with cheese, and you didn't have to, you had to specifically say what it like it changes a lot of the back, office problems as well.
Right. And going back to customers asking their servers the questions, if they're not able to understand what's on the menu, if it was something that was just whipped up quick and, like if you're going through the process of getting your menu done professionally and, you're taking that time and you're going through each item and you're going through the description of every item. So those questions probably won't be asked because they'll be there. So the questions now that are going to be asked is maybe that question of like, what do you recommend? And, now it gives the waitress an opportunity to maybe upsell them an appetizer or something that they wouldn't have gotten before, instead of trying to clarify what, the description of an item on their menu.
Right. Yeah. Cause once it turns and then it becomes like a little bit like, I don't know, like exhausting for people. Like it's no longer fun. They don't want to be upsold. They don't want to like split something. They don't want to share it. Like just want to get through it. Like they just want to get to the other side of this problem, So, you want them ordering chips for the table, and like you want them to be able to just be more free to like have fun with it.
Yeah, and it makes I think the interaction between the server and the customers better, a more enjoyable experience for everyone. Yeah. And then and especially, I mean, now going from the printed menu and back to the QR codes, I mean, like just like that whole experience, I remember like the many times that I'd go out to eat and they didn't even have the printed menus available, and just the issues that you'd run into of like, oh, no, you don't have internet, I can't connect to my phone, or someone has an older phone that's just not pulling up the website. And I mean, just you almost feel bad for who's taking your order, because like, it's not their fault, but at the same time, it's like, I'm hungry. I just want to eat. Like, yeah. I just want to see what you're offering to me. So it's probably one of the most important things that to have dialed in your restaurant. Like it's, it's vital.
I think another thing too, like going back to like getting away from the design and getting a little bit more into the process. When we talk about like a good menu management process is, market trends, pricing changes, things are going up. And you need to be able to roll out the updated menu as easily as possible, like, and things are going up. It feels like every couple of weeks, price is going up, and you go to the store and you go to get the food, and it's like, it's just, you never know what you're going to walk into. So the mechanism to roll out a menu like efficiently will translate to like more margin, because I know a lot of restaurants do this. They wait until the official menu update, because that's going to cost them, I don't know, whatever, $1,500 or whatever. They have to update everything, the POS, the website, the printed, all that stuff. And so they just live with the fact that like chicken went up $3, and now they're like really not making any money on the chicken parm, because it's not worth it for them to spend the $1,500, in August. Like they have to wait until, September, October, when they do their whole seasonal change. Yeah. So it's kind of a broken system. And that's why a lot of guys and girls, go to the in-house Word document type of game, which I don't think anyone prefers to do that. It's just a last resort. It's just a way to get the information correct.
Yeah. So they're not losing money. I mean, it's,
yeah.
It's important. Money loves speed. And when those prices change, like you have to get it out as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're just, it becomes unattainable to keep going.
Yeah. Not to mention like, there's the pricing part of it, and there's like the margin part of it, but there's also like opportunities when things are trending, like, I don't know, kale salad or something is now trending, and it's the hot thing for, a month or so. So, how do you roll out some sort of kale salad special, because that's going to be, ordering off the shelves, until the weather changes, or, cocktail lists, people love like the gingerbread martini, around,
the
Christmas.
Holidays. Yeah.
Right. But like January 18th, it's like, you got to get rid of that thing. Like you can't, nobody wants the gingerbread martini on January 18th. So you can, those gimmicky things you can roll out and you can make money on,
Hmm. When they're relevant. Yeah.
when they're relevant. Yeah. But you got to have that mechanism, because I've known people that they will always order what's on that table tent. The $19 or whatever martini comes with a gingerbread house on top of it, like whatever the hell it is.
Hmm.
They'll order 3, 4 of them because
Yeah.
that's the cool thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's just all margin right there. So, the
Yeah. I
mechanism
mean,
to get that rolled out is key.
totally. Totally. I mean, now we're kind of getting into like the supplement menus, like the ones that you kind of just throw on the table. They have the specials. They're not permanent. They're not permanent in the core menu, um, which I think is probably enough to put into a whole nother topic. But
Yeah.
it's also important. It's like what are the core items, and then what are the items that we want to just kind of sell for a limited time, and then maybe if they become really popular and people are ordering them consistency, they make their way into the core menu. But having that, even that process in place is something that is can be super beneficial for the restaurant and
Yeah.
whoever's doing the marketing.
Technology's come a long way, especially since COVID.
Mhm.
Like, a lot of the POS companies have been forced to like overhaul and upgrade, which is something that, I've been waiting for that to happen, for a while. Like, you have like Toast POS and stuff like that are like kind of browser first, like, forward thinking POS systems. But now finally everybody's caught on, so on the online ordering side, on the digital menus and the POS integrating with that stuff, things have gotten a lot easier than they used to be.
Mhm.
So, having a menu that you can manage, and having the systems in place to roll out updates is key.
Yeah, totally. Definitely. I mean, we can go on and on about menus.
What else? What else we got?
I think I took some notes before. I mean, I think for me, I mean, and my background specifically in Ten Cent Menu Club is the the design and the menu organization is how you can kind of use that to keep a captive audience, keep your customers engaged, with what's going on around them in the physical world, not in the digital, on their phones and stuff like that. And not to say that like a well-designed menu is just going to be make or break the experience. Obviously, there's so many other things that come into play, but I definitely think that it's a part of the experience that shouldn't be ignored. Um, you know,
Yeah.
that's where I stand.
I can't stand crappy menus, like crappy print product menus when I walk in somewhere, because it's like it's unnecessary, and it just, I don't know, like, it bothers me, because, and it's not really a lot of times the fault of the restaurant, but it's just like, come on, like, we got to figure out a way to get nice menus on the table and have a nice experience. Like, you wouldn't serve a dirty glass and like dirty napkins, like we need that. That's our mission. Is
Yeah.
every restaurant has nice, clean, new menus that go with the nice, clean, new plates and silverware and glasses. Like, don't drop a dirty, crappy menu printed on toilet paper on top of my tablecloth and then charge me like $70 for a steak. Like, let's do this together.
Yeah.
Let's get the menu management process together.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's a work in progress, and it's a work in progress for everybody. I mean, just the shift in the last 12 months. I mean, kind of coming out of people not using printed menus at all, and now kind of getting back into it and realizing like, oh, okay, like people want them. People want them back. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a good opportunity to just factor it in, for us. I mean, that's kind of where we're positioning ourselves, and trying to really hone the process in to make it better and more efficient. And we want to kind of, we want that to also be part of, the plan for restaurants, to just think of it as a utility and not something, not just an expense of menus. It's part of, the establishment. It's part of who you are as a business, right?
You need it.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have it.
Gotta have it. No pressure, though. Also.
You must sign up with us.
But we have fun with it.
Yeah.
All
right. So what's our final send off?
Final send off. I thought I gave one already.
What was the final send off? Oh, that was that.
I'll give another one. Back to the design. No. Just
It has to be 5 words or less.
brand consistency builds consumer trust.
Brand consistency builds consumer trust. Wow.
Yeah, I nailed that one.
Wow.
5 words or less. Your turn.
Your menu is going to be.
It sounds very philosophical.
I don't know how you
Your
did that.
menu is going to be.
We got John on the.
Yes. There's our one viewer.
Yeah. Trying to go viral.
Sick.
All right. So until next time.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
10 Menu Club.
All right. Well, we love you all.
Bye-bye.